From small town roots to national recognition, Aleitress Owens Smith is lighting up every room she enters. Founder of multiple women center organizations, a successful business owner, and a recognized diversity champion. Aleitress shares how she kept her spark alive and helps others do the same. If you have ever felt like your potential is simmering beneath the surface, this episode is your ignition. Welcome back to Happiness on Tap, the podcast where we fill your cup with real stories, bold inspiration, and transformational tools for living your best life. Your go-to podcast for uplifting conversations that stir the heart and ignite the spirit. I'm your host, Leanne, and today I am thrilled to welcome a powerhouse of purpose, Aleitress Owens Smith. Raised in Clarksville, Texas, Aleitress is the founder of Women of Glimmer, Young Women of Glimmer, and the Boss Women Network. She's a motivational speaker, a business consultant, an unstoppable spark coach who empowers women to lead, shine, and soar. From launching Aleitress Mobile Restrooms in 2021 to founding her new Elevate Together magazine in 2024, she's been recognized nationally for her innovation, leadership, and unstoppable spirit. In this episode, Aleitress shares what drives her, how she manages multiple roles with grace, and how she keeps showing up day after day, her most authentic and powerful self. Let's welcome Aleitress to the show. Aleitress, I am so excited that you are joining us today. Welcome to Happiness on Tap.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to share your story. You have been a true inspiration for me. Every time I see you, like I said, you light up the room the minute you walk in. Everyone knows you're there and they're happy that you're there. And it's just been such a pleasure getting to know you.
Same here, same here. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Oh, thank you. So we'll get started. You have created such a powerful ecosystem with Women of Glimmer, Boss Women's Network, and now your own magazine. What first inspired you to step into leadership and create these platforms?
So I feel like I just didn't step into it, to be honest, Miss Leanne, but I feel like God had to mold me into doing these things because I've always been like behind the scenes, just watching, other people do it and stuff until, things happen in your life and you want a safe space. And I feel like in New Mexico, they really didn't have like a safe space for women, and that's how it really all started. And I'm so glad I done it because I feel like I truly need it too, and we all grow together. We all invest, in each other and things like that. And I feel like that is very, very important to do.
It is. And it is so empowering to be among like-minded, powerful women who are all goal-driven and heading in the same direction, that we can learn together and share our experiences. And yeah, I loved having my own women's circle when I launched my business and opened my office. It was something I looked forward to every week. Just connecting and watching them grow, that connection and collaborating. And, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of your group and do the mentoring event. That was amazing and so much fun.
Yeah, and we need it. Like I say, we just have to keep pushing each other and giving each other that platform. I tell people, even though you're a founder of something, sometimes you got to remove yourself and allow other people to be on that panel or platform or spark, or whatever you want to call it. I feel like it's very important because you can grow from each other and learn from each other tremendously. And I'm just glad I do that because a lot of women have never spoken in front of people or be a mentor and, different things like that. And I feel like it's very important to allow them to have that light,
It is. It is. I love it. I appreciate you doing it, and you do it so effortlessly. At least it looks that way from us.
Although it's a lot of work on the back office, but like I said, I have time management.
So tell us about the unstoppable spark concept. What does
Yeah.
it mean to you, and how do you help women tap into their inner spark?
Yeah. So the Unstoppable Spark Coach happened is when I start really working on me and really molding myself as my, mission statement, my passion, and different things like that, to where I was like, you know what? I don't want to just be called just a coach like other people, or a life coach, or, all these other different names of coach. I was like, no, I'm really unstoppable. And I have that spark, So I actually rebrand myself Unstoppable Spark Coach, because I allow these women to come to me, get to know them, and I make a system strictly for them, because I can't have a booklet just for you and then share it to another person. Everybody's different. So I try to make sure that I have that for my clients. Yeah, it takes more time, but I'd rather be authentic than allowing them to be, leave them hanging and stuff. That's not okay with me, and I enjoy doing it. I really do. And just see them bring that fire out of them, knowing that they just, I know they had it in them, but sometimes they don't know they have it in them. So me, I just bring it out of you, So, and so I just tell them sometimes, watch out, because I'll bring it out of you. They be like, no, you're not, no, you're not. I'm like, oh, yes, I will. And see some of the ladies today, I'm like, wow, look at you now, and just seeing them doing, everything they wanted to do, but they were just afraid. And I feel like you have to surround yourself with the right people who want to see you grow, So I think it's
Yeah,
important.
I'm right there with you. I am
Yeah.
right there with you. It is so powerful to inspire and to show other women and
Right.
give them the permission until they give themselves
Right.
permission
Exactly. Yeah.
to really let their
Absolutely.
light show, because
Yeah.
many of us have, barely kept that flicker alive most of our
Yeah.
lives,
Right.
and have lost our voice and have lost our identity.
Yeah.
And just to be that light in somebody's life, to
Right.
empower them to shine for who they are. We're powerful
Right.
women,
Yeah.
and
We truly are. Yeah.
so
Truly are.
I'm right there with you. That's what I love about coaching as well, and why I stepped away from the general life and health coach,
Right. I feel
because
like as life keeps going, it leads you in, like, I'm not say a different direction, but it allows you to tweak things, you know, and just push you to do other things that you didn't think you could do, but it's like, wow, I actually can do it, and
Mhm.
stuff. And I tell women all the time, like, we are not perfect, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm perfect. Every day something do come up, but you have to learn how to pivot.
And remembering, and acknowledging the years of life and experience that we
Hmm.
have lived, and how
Exactly.
we can take that and turn that into our personal power.
Right.
It's such a joy to share that with others and watch them
Yeah.
realize the things that they've done and
Right.
achieved, and they've kind
Yes.
of just forgot about it.
Right. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It is.
You wear many hats.
Yes.
Yeah, coach and speaker and entrepreneur and magazine founder. How do you stay grounded and focused while you're managing
Self-care.
so many roles?
Self-care. I tell people, like, I don't care what you're doing, you need to have a self-care routine. And for me, I have a massage on my calendar. I have my little mani pedi, and different things like that. And you also have to make sure you declutter your mind as well too when you relax. And a lot of people don't do that. They think they're relaxed, but you're really not. You know what I mean? So that it takes take place of really, really, really schedule, and time management, and have those boundaries, because you cannot do everything. And that's something I have learned this upcoming year, honestly, to where I can't be everywhere and I can't say yes to everything either. So
You covered all the right answers. For sure. And even like you said, mani pedis or massage, if your mind is still racing and you're worrying about thinking about your next event or the kids at home or what you're going to cook for dinner, and you're not just really being present in that peace and relaxing,
and
and
that's something I had to learn, how to declutter my mind,
yep.
honestly, because
And
it
it
raced
is
a
a
lot.
skill. It is a skill that takes a little bit, but once you've
Yes.
mastered it, then it's a tool in your toolbox that you
Right.
can use anytime you need it, whether it's driving in the car and getting frustrated over other drivers, or, it's like, okay, I can just take a breath,
Yeah.
let it go.
Yeah. And sometimes you might have to have that favorite song, For me, I love the song I Choose Peace, of things, because you have things come up all the time, and you have to have something that calms you down as well. And I love music. I do. I love music.
Yeah, I'm right there. I love how you mentioned setting boundaries and being able to say no to things and knowing that you can't do it all. That
Right.
is a tool that, again, that's a skill that it takes time to develop, because
It
as
does. Because
women,
I
we're
always
so,
want to try to do every little
yep,
thing.
we want to do everything. We don't want to disappoint anybody.
Right.
And then it leads to burnout.
Right.
And then we wonder, like, how did we get here?
We got
But
ourselves there.
yeah,
We blame
absolutely.
nobody but ourselves for doing it,
But
So
just to, know that it's okay to say no without feeling guilty, and even
yeah.
learn ways that you can say no without feeling
Yeah. And
guilty.
see, and that's what really like trick people with me, because I smile like, thank you, but no. They're like, really? Like, did you? I'm like, yeah, no, no, no. Okay, no. And that's something I had to, practice and stuff. And so I don't think sometimes the people take me serious too, because I smile with it to say no. And it's just like, but I wouldn't like when I hurt their feelings either, So
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk about your mobile restroom business, because that's,
yeah,
I think, when I first met you. Uh,
yeah.
what challenges did you face as a woman and a woman
Mhm.
of color building a mobile restroom business? What helped you push through all those challenges?
Yeah. So for me, I really truly have been blessed with good clients to where I really didn't have to, worry about those things. And I tell people it's all about just being yourself. And those clients will come to you. And I feel like just being myself, it really made it easy to run my mobile restroom business. But if anybody actually having challenges and stuff, just go ask for help. Honestly, if you are really truly struggling, because you can't do everything by yourself either, and for the clients I have, they have truly helped me in different ways of giving me feedback of things. So that's how I've been able to like tweak a lot of things that I do for my business, to be honest. So that's been really a good help.
And one thing I love about your story, with the mobile restrooms, is that you built them. Like, that was you. You didn't just
Drew them
contract
by
it out to
hand. Yeah.
somebody with your thought or idea. You were out there swinging the hammer,
Yeah.
building it yourself. And that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And that was something I never done. I'll tell you that now. But it really challenged me to understand what I'm doing and not just say I'm an owner of something. So be able to be hands-on. And till this day, I have things that come up that happens, and I have to go out there and fix them now, versus calling somebody. So that feels really good to be able to even train other people that want to come into this industry as well. So I have been having people reach out to me as well. So that's been really good.
Yeah, I think that's something great about what we can do
Right.
as coaches, as mentors, as
Right.
entrepreneurs, is share the skills and tools that
Yeah.
we developed with others. I think that's what makes
Yeah.
us the most
Yeah.
powerful at who we are and what we do,
Yeah.
is that
And I love YouTube. I love YouTube. People might hate YouTube, but
I
YouTube
love
have
you too.
got me through so much, until somebody's like, how did you do that? Oh, YouTube University. Like, there is no such thing as YouTube University. And I was like, oh, yes, it is. You just got to, click on that button and type in what you need help, and it'll show you. I promise.
Yep,
I
we
didn't even
use
know
it.
how to put a vowel on the toilet. So I YouTube it, and my husband thought somebody else did it. I was like, no, I done it. I done it. I done it. He's like, oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
We use
Because I
it
always ask
for
for help,
everything.
but I wanted to really challenge myself. And then if I can't figure out, and that's when I truly, reach out and ask for help. But I at least want to try first, then giving up.
Yeah, that's a great strength. Absolutely. Let's go on to all of your amazing recognitions, because I think
Yeah.
they are all rightfully deserved. You've been recognized with awards like 40 Under 40 and Diversity Champion. What do those honors mean to you personally and professionally?
Honestly, grateful and humble, and because these women didn't have to nominate me. Still to this day, I can't even tell you who really nominated me. And I was trying to, get information. It's like, you can't tell me. So I just really tell people, like, you never know who you're going to impact wherever you at. So always be yourself, because you just never know. And I'm glad I'm always being a change in any room and leaving a great impact as well, so.
You certainly do that. It has been a pleasure getting to know you.
Yes.
What are some of your core values or
Yeah.
practices that keep you aligned with your purpose and passion?
Honestly, God, family, health, you know, like I feel like those are very important, and of course, I'm creative and things like that, but those are my main three, honestly.
That's great. It's just, yeah, those daily reminders of what we're doing and how we show up and honor those values are evident in who we are and
Right.
how people see us. And
Yeah.
so, like I said, you do that every time I see you. I see that in you and around you and the glow around you and how you talk to
Yeah.
people and acknowledge people. It's beautiful.
So thank you.
You work with a lot of young women.
Yes.
What message do you think are most crucial for the next generation of female leaders right now?
Honestly, I feel like, they have social media and all these different things that I feel it's not good for them, because when we grew up, Leanne, like we was able to use our critical thinking and open up our mouth and talk about things. And I feel like these young kids, they don't, and I feel like that's why we have a lot of suicide and, different things like that going on in our community, which can be prevented. I feel like if we have a safe space for them, and then that's why I created Young Women of Glimmer, because I tell people, like, they can't always just get on their knees and pray. Like, they need to talk to somebody. And sometimes they need to talk to the people their age. They can't just talk to adults. Like, we're not going to understand what they're going through. Like, I feel like they need kids their age to be able to talk things through, and they help each other get through it. And I feel like that is so, so important, because I didn't have that growing up at all. All I had was pray about it, leave it alone. But imagine having that safe space for a group for your age, to come to and be okay to vent and things like that.
Yeah. Is that one of the things that you do online? One of the programs you have online?
So I try to do more of that in person, but it's been really hard because the parents don't show up and bring the kids, So it's been really a struggle to grow Young Women of Glimmer, because of the parents won't bring them and things like that. And I feel like that is important for these kids, to be able to be a speaker, whatever they want to do, and have that mentor for their age to mentor them. I think that's so, so important. But like I said, I'm not going to give up on it. I'm not going to give up on it and
Good.
stuff. But I feel like we truly, truly need more of this in our community, especially for
Yeah.
these young ladies, because, things get in their head and they think that's who they are. And, I can go on, and they need positivity. They really do.
They do. And I love that was, I think, one of the things I loved about having my women's circle. And it always
Yeah.
surprised me week after week because I'd throw it
Yeah.
out on all events. And I
Yeah.
had women of all ages
Right.
and a lot of people, a lot of the younger women that came were like brand new to the state and they were
Right.
just looking for connection. And they're like, well, I didn't know what to think or what this would be, but
Right.
I
Exactly.
showed up and then, us older ladies who've lived here our whole lives, then we got to tell them all the great things to do in our
Yeah.
state and,
Mhm.
good places for hiking and about the events that happen over the
Right.
year. And, it
Right.
was really nice
Yeah.
to be able to share that with somebody who was brand new. A lot of them were wives of military.
Right.
So they, were just somewhere new with no family, no friends. And
Yeah.
but then at the same time, they really gave us older ladies, in our
Mhm.
50s, and these women were in their 20s or early 30s, a whole different perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so we could ask them questions about so many things that have changed since our
Right.
time.
Yeah. And vice versa. And that's what I love because that type of like, it doesn't matter how old you are, like we all can learn from each other,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. So definitely don't give up on that. If there's anything I can
No,
help
I'm
you
not,
with,
because like I
to
said, I feel
spread
like
the
it's
word,
very, very
absolutely.
important. Yes.
For someone who's listening here today and they feel like they've really lost their spark, what is one thing they can do right now to begin to reclaim it?
Honestly, for me, I always tell them like, because we're quiet. Women are very quiet. I can tell you that. So I feel like once they understand what they're needing, reach out. Reach out to that person. Like you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have coaches out there, you have so many amazing, platforms that's out there. Like utilize these tools. And I feel like as women, we don't. We think we can do everything ourselves and we can't. You can only motivate yourself so much for so long. But when are you going to reach out and let somebody grab your hand and guide you through what you need to go, get through and things like that. And I feel like that is so, so important to really trust somebody of what you're needing.
Yeah. I really love, and I'm so glad that I got off of like Facebook and Instagram, God, over a year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
And really all my focus is only on LinkedIn
I
and
have been truly loving LinkedIn. At first, it was not a thing, I'm telling you, for you.
mhm, I'm
And
right there
now
with
it's been a
you.
thing. Yeah.
I
Honestly, I was
love
like,
it. I love the collaborations that I've
yeah,
made all over the world.
yeah,
I love the podcast guests that I've gotten to meet all over the world. I mean,
right,
it's just an amazing positive platform because again,
right.
it's all
Right.
like-minded
Yes, it is.
people. So it's always about
Yeah,
business and growing your business
yeah.
and how do
Yeah.
you handle overwhelm and how do you handle
Mhm.
supervisors or
Surrounded. Yeah. You got to
coworkers.
surround yourself with those people. Because I tell people, if you're
Exactly.
trying to
As
go there,
opposed
you need to
to,
surround yourself with those people. If you're trying to get there and you're not around those people, how do you think you get there? Like it doesn't work like that,
yeah,
It
because you're not
change
gonna
you.
you're going to have that a little bit on Facebook, and maybe a
Mhm.
private group, but for the most part, otherwise, you're dealing with all of the other
Mhm.
noise and
Right.
negativity. And, I really don't have to worry about that on LinkedIn. You don't really see
Yeah.
it.
No, you do not see that on LinkedIn
And
at
then when
all.
you see things, it's more of a learning story,
Hmm.
and that's what I find so empowering about it. I'd love if you could talk about your magazine.
Yeah. So I wanted something really affordable, authentic, and really for small business owners because we have all these things out here that we're there for small business, and I feel like they're not, due to the pricing and things like that. And some startups can't afford that, and having a payment plan for them. A lot of magazines don't have a payment plan. You either pay it all in full or you don't get the opportunity. So for me to create those, things for them, it feels really good to see them really grow and bringing these clients together. I tell people like it's not all about just being in a magazine. Is this magazine company bringing you guys together as a family, or is it just a transaction? So that's a lot of things that I wanted to change as well with that.
Yeah, I like that. I look forward to being in your June magazine. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
And that you do it quarterly, correct?
Yes, I do it quarterly to give the clients enough time and things like that. I didn't really want to really, I could probably do it every month, but it's like I'd rather keep the value there. And I feel like quarterly will allow me to do that as well. And giving the information to the community, you not always want to be a business owner, but having resource out there for them to go find a job or know what's going on in our community, that's been really important for me as well too, because when I moved out here, I didn't know anything was going on. So having that magazine, have that information in there for them and educate them as well. I feel like that's very, very, very important. Not just say it's a magazine. And that's why I named it the way I named it as well, because I want to focus on business and non-business things as well.
And you do that, not just on your magazine, but on LinkedIn. You're always posting, upcoming events, who's
Yeah.
hiring. I mean, it's so amazing that you do that. You take the time, you share that information. You're really out there to help our community grow
Yes, ma'am.
and connect. And the mentoring event was so fun talking with other mentors. Like, so how did you meet Aleitress? And sharing those stories.
And some of them I didn't even know. I'm gonna tell you that now. I use LinkedIn with a lot of those ladies that I didn't even know as mentors. I'm gonna tell you that now. But I was like, you know what? It won't hurt to reach out. They either tell me yes or no, and they say yes to me right away and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good, because it's very important to not just be on anybody's platform. So I felt like they had to kind of look me up too before they said yes, because some of them took a couple of days. And I was like, okay, they probably had to do their homework before they say yes. And I wasn't mad, like at all. And I asked the two young ladies that done it, it's like, yeah, you have to make sure you use legit. I said, that's fine. I get it. I get it. So.
I mean, you even did that with me, and we had been, been at the same location together, but you're like, hey, let's like go have breakfast. Let's sit and get to know each other. I think that's wonderful. I think that's a great way to connect with people and truly connect with people.
Right. Exactly. I love my one-on-ones. I love the group things, don't get me wrong, but I love my one-on-ones. I do.
Yeah. And LinkedIn, I'm going to keep throwing it out there because it has just been so powerful for me. But when I approach somebody on LinkedIn, usually I will send them a personal email. It's not a DM. And I reach out to people to collaborate. I don't reach out to people to sell them my services. Right. Absolutely not. I want to know how we can collaborate and help each other grow.
Right.
Where it goes from there, it can go anywhere.
And I think that really throws them off as well, because I do the same thing. Like, I keep inviting. This one lady said, you've been inviting me for 5 years and you just have not gave up on me. I was like, no, I know you're coming. I know you're coming. And now she comes, you know what I mean? Like, for me, if I see what the power or, that's sparking, I'm not going to give up on you. I was like, I'm not. I'm going to keep inviting you and keep inviting you. I tell people, like, it's very important to invite people, not just sell your products and service, to them. Like, let them be who they are and let them have options of stuff. So I always tell people when I meet them, hey, would you like to more about the business stuff, or do you like to know about the non-business stuff, so I know what to send you? And they'll tell me, and that's how I send them what's going on. It's a young lady, matter of fact, coming home on Monday, and we was walking on the plane. She was coming back to Mexico, and she said she didn't know anything was going on in our community. And I asked her, would she like to know business and non-business? She said both. And I said, fine, give me your number and I'll text you some upcoming, events and things like that. And she was so happy to meet me, because she's like, I know it was stuff out here for me, but I just kept asking God, like, God, send me that person. And she like, here you are, just holding a conversation with me. And I was like, yeah, man, that's how I find a lot of amazing women in our community. Just open up my mouth and just speaking to you and stuff. So
I love it. I love it. Talk a little about some of the things that you do with your Boss Women's Network. We talked about the mentoring, but I know you do so much more.
Yeah. So with Boss Women Network, I really changed a lot of it this year, because I really, truly want to see the women grow in our, our group and things like that. Whether you choose to attend or not as a member, that's totally up to you. But I feel like monthly goal setting is very important in trying to focus on 30 days, 90, all of that. I feel like you kind of struggle, but having that accountability every month with that group. And even if you don't have a goal, and some of the women don't have a goal, and it's like, it's okay. Maybe when you get off the chat with us, you might be ready to write yours down, but just having that person holding you accountable, I feel like that is so, so important, and not bringing them down, you know what I mean? Because they don't have a goal that month and stuff. And I feel like that's truly, truly important. And that's one of our monthly. And then every other month I have virtual connect. So if people don't live in New Mexico, you're able to connect with us as well to know what's going on in our community, to see if they want to come over this way and be a part of New Mexico. You just never know. So just having that option for, our group has been really amazing as well. And then the in-person ones, I truly want to focus on the important things. Like now every year we have a vision board party every year, because I tell ladies I feel like it's good to focus on it yearly versus 5 years, because something can change throughout that 5-year period of time. But so be able to tack it year after year, I've truly been helping me too, to really stay focused on that year and not 5 years from now, because we don't know what we're going to be 5 years from now, but we know what we're going to be in 6 days or a year from now or something like that. But so to be able to tackle that, I feel like the ladies have truly been able to tackle those goals, and I've been loving seeing that as well. And then the annual celebrating women, like I feel like our community was not celebrating amazing women that do so much for our community. So to have that platform now to recognize those ladies has been amazing too, as well, because I feel like we truly need to share the love, you know what I mean? And recognize those ladies. And some of the ladies that got recognized even this year have never been recognized for a lot of things. And they've been doing things for over 10 years or longer. So to be able to give them that, recognition was really good. And the people nominated them. So I did not nominate them. So I allowed the community to nominate the ladies and stuff. So that's been amazing. And then, like I said, we just added the mentoring, which I'm going to keep, and things like that. And then the annual Women's Summit have truly been helping me as a whole, as a business owner too, of just really getting what I need as well. So I tell people, like, it's good to have variety of things going on at an event versus just one thing, because you just never know what that person may need. So I'll try to keep the panel speaker. Now we're doing one keynote speaker this year and a workshop speaker, and then the resource roundtable speakers as well. So the resource roundtables allow you to know what's exactly going on in our community and how you can be involved, because every person can be in front of you talking, so that makes it really hard. So having that as well been able to help me tackle other things as well too, so that people know that they're not alone and they can get help and stuff. So because on Instagram I found a lady that is sober, and she has a sober group and stuff, so I'm trying to get her to come and talk about of that as well, and a safe space for those type of women as well too. So like I've been loving, everything about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I am really looking forward to your summit. It's on my calendar, and I have your calendar of events handy.
So I know. So instead of having a business card, that's like my business card now.
It's right in front of me on my shelf, so I know
it's like
coming up.
Contact. I'm like, oh, you can find me everywhere. I promise. Just type one of those names in, where you will find me.
I love it. I love it. So on that note, tell people where they can find you, and I'm going to make sure and include links to all of those places.
I love LinkedIn. I really do. So if I do have Facebook and Instagram, but I really truly love LinkedIn. And I love emailing, and talking on the phone as well too. So if they feel like they don't want to do any of that, you can call me too at 505-340-8309 if you are a talker, so I like to have that, that option as well too, because I know some people don't like to go on all those, platforms and stuff. So
I will make sure and add your phone number and email. I have your Instagram, your website, and I included links to your Women of Glimmer, Boss Woman Network, Aleitress Mobile Restrooms, and Elevate Together magazine. That way people can find you at all of those wonderful places and find out more information about how to get involved, how to participate, how to become a member. So Aleitress, you are the embodiment of resilience, passion, and purpose. Your story reminds us that no dream is too big, no community too small, and no spark too dim to ignite again. Whether you're building a business, mentoring others, or simply trying to show up more powerfully in your own life, Aleitress is proof that with vision and heart, anything is possible. Aleitress, thank you again for joining us and sharing your light with us today.
Yes.
And to our listeners, if this episode lit something up for you, please go share it, tag us, leave a review, and don't forget, happiness is always on tap. Thank you again, Aleitress. It has been an absolute pleasure.